Hi everyone, it's Anna from the Heartbeat Hive. Today I want to talk about slow progress. That's right, slow. I am tired of the world optimizing every freaking second that we're alive. Optimize this, maximize that, productivity up the... It's everywhere. It's like, why aren't you being more productive? Oh, maybe because you have to rest and there's like, yin and yang to everything. So if you've been caught up in maximizing, optimizing everything lately and writing a list for your list that is like a mile long, I want you to stop and pause and think about this. If you are unwell, how are you going to get anything on the list done? If you are tired, you're probably not going to have optimum quality experience, okay? Optimum, right? So sometimes things are going to be mediocre. Sometimes there's going to be like, you're aiming for something, but you kind of just only got halfway, and that's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because the contrast of knowing when you actually hit the mark and when something is very high quality, you can only know that because you have other things that are not of high quality, that are crappy, right? So in all your days, if you were to mark them and be like, that day was no good, oh, this day is good. The reason you can see the difference and have a relation to it and understand and feel it is because of the contrast. Okay? So yes, you can do these things. You can optimize everything you want in your life. Everything. It's your life, right? But I am encouraging you to stop and really tune into you when you feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not productive enough, I haven't met my mark, right? Okay, maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't met your mark, but that's okay. As long as you can see it, as long as you can review and be like, okay, but am I on the right track here? As long as you can gauge where you are and where you're aiming for, then you're going to be okay. It's sort of like GPS, right? So if you want to change your destination, you can do that. If you're on your way somewhere and you're like, I need to stop and I need to rest, because if I don't, this car is going to crash, and we definitely don't want that. So yes, this is me reminding you that slow progress is good progress. We don't always have to have everything right now. And even when you think, okay, let's say you sit down, you do some major planning, and it's really wonderful, and you got your spreadsheets or whatever you use, or your little piece of paper, your planner, your calendar, whatever, index card, and it all looks really great, and then life sort of just happens, and you're like, oh, shoot. I'm not going to meet that mark when I thought I was. I'm not going to probably do as many reps as I needed to for this thing, or I'm not going to make as many videos as I thought, right? If you're into like video production, or you're trying to produce something by a certain time. And this kind of goes into your work as well. If you're working for someone else, you need to tune into your body and your mental health and your well-being to say, what do I need to do to be able to meet that mark? Having the pressure of working for someone or with someone can sometimes cause things to be out of perspective, because the pressure of like meeting that deadline, you're focused on that instead of going, hey, am I actually well enough to do this? And those of you who work for yourself, you really need to tune into that, because it can go the other direction as well. You can get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna rest today, and then a week goes by and you've rested for 6 days, right? And you're like, oh, I didn't do that thing. And that's okay, as long as you're looking at and saying, do I need to get back on track? What would it take for me? What's the first step for me to go back in the direction that I want to go with this? This is your life. You get to decide. That's it. I just wanted to remind you that slow progress, one step, one baby step. If you have to take it hour by hour in life, sometimes it's just like that. So relieve yourself. Relieve yourself. You are not a machine. You're a human being, not a human doing, right? That's the phrase. And if we try to optimize and be productive in every single area of our life, it's going to take the fun out of it. The fun of unpredictability, spontaneity, going with the flow, magical things happening, right? Of course, I don't believe in coincidences, but sometimes if you just go with the flow, things are going to be easier because you're not resisting and going, oh, that's not on my plan, that's not on my plan, right? But you could have someone in your environment or something happening where you meet someone and you're like, this is amazing, and I did not plan to see them, or I did not plan to go, get in the car and go with someone and hang out, right? Or I had plans to do all these emails, but like this life is showing me, hey, I'm alive, I can go do this, and that may never happen again, right? So you decide. You can have the JOMO, I call the joy of missing out, or FOMO, right? Sometimes both of those will lead you to a special place. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video. This has been a sweet hang.